Hello everyone and welcome back to Great Deltan. Hope you all had a good new year and welcome to 2026. Hopefully you're going to get a lot done on the layout this year, so I thought I'd just bring you a small update of the plans for this year and where I am at currently. In 2025 I made a lot of progress. We got the framework completely built, including lighting, sockets, got the back scenes done, well the back scene baseboards anyway. And we got a load of other bits done like the workbench as well. I got all my stock upgrades done, so everything was ready to run. And then we finally made a start on the actual layout itself with the beginning of the branch line. The branch line is currently about a third of the way through in terms of the amount of work. In terms of the amount of videos, I'm probably about halfway through because the next bits will be large videos to do with the scenery and all the greenery and whatnot. But where I'm currently at with this is I've got all the track work down and the cork bed. Obviously I've done the base, the wooden base for it and the back scenes. We then started to do some track laying, so I got all the track down, then went ahead and did the track detailing, something that I've done quite a few times before. All the ballasting is done and I'm currently part way through track weathering. As you can see down there, track is looking nice and dirtied and you can see where I've stopped. Going to be putting that in a separate video because I do like to take you through my track weathering process, but it's looking nice and realistic over there. Nice and dirty down, and it matches the stock well, which has also been pretty heavily weathered. It's mainly just airbrushed with a few paints, but like I said, I will make a separate video talking through the entire process. That's why I've left this section here, because this will be the most heavily weathered part and will make for the best content. Also decided to stick back those buildings just for now temporarily to give you an idea of how the area looks with all the track detail in place. So it's going pretty well. On to stock. I've had a few new additions of stock over the festive period. These weren't actually for Christmas, these just came out in all good time. As I had messaged ARX models on eBay quite a few months back now about possibly offering the extra coaches to the Network Rail NMT set. As I did used to have this set, I was a great fan of it. The resprays were excellent, and then I had the whole set weathered by West Coast models, so I'm hoping to do a sort of similar thing again. He messaged me back saying that he'd have the set on offer, so I got all these 3 extra coaches. These were £250, which does sound expensive, but if you take into the fact that is the price of the coach, price of the respray as well. Also along with that, one of the coaches has been adjusted to include a pantograph, which has been very well done. I don't think it's too bad. Obviously then, I just had to pick up the book set, which you can find in many places. I think that was £215 from ARG models, possibly. Anyway, I found it somewhere online, purchased one of those, and now we have the full NMT set again ready to go. I won't do too much work on this for now. I did spend a lot over the Christmas period, and obviously this needs loads of work doing to it for weathering, decoders, internal detail, stay alives, passengers, the works. So that will probably stay as it is for now, but I'm glad I got the set. But I won't be purchasing any more stock until that is up to scratch. Having said that though, I did purchase a few other things at the same time. I've got another batch of these MEA wagons. These are by Graham Farish. They're a mixture of the BR Coal Sector and EWS. I know it doesn't really fit my era, but there are some bits of stock which I just like to collect because I like the look of them or how they look on the layout, and these will look brilliant behind my Class 59 by Revolution trains. Also an EWS livery. Can't remember how much I spent on these, but I got a good batch of them on eBay for a fairly decent price, which averaged out to about £12–13 per wagon. So I got those, which brings my rake up to 38 of those, and that is as far as I'm going to go with them. They all need loads and they need weathering. I'll probably stick some tacky wax on them as well to keep the couplings intact, but because I would like to keep all my stock sort of fixed rakes and out, it'll be a while before I get onto that. Obviously with the branch line there's not a great deal of room for long freight trains at the minute anyway, so they can stay in the boxes. And then finally, I also messaged ARX Model about this DBSO by Network Rail, which is a respray. Done a really good job of this and taken the front door off as well, so it looks pretty good. I'm not too much a fan of, well, I'm not, it's not that I'm not a fan of it, it's just I'm not too fussed about having accurate Network Rail rakes. So, along with the DBSO, I purchased this Mark II coach, Mark I brake, and then I got a separate Mark II respray from ARX as well. And then we have that generator van at the back to make a 5 coach rake sort of an engineer's train. And then to haul that, we have a Farish Class 31. So yeah, I have purchased a fair bit new stock, but like I said, won't purchase any more until all of that is refurbished, resprayed, detailed, and ready to run. It's going to cost a fair bit of money, so that will be done over the next few months. I haven't got too many plans for new stock this year, just because I've got things on order with Revolution trains, so I need to pay all that, and then that'll have to be detailed and whatnot when that gets in. I'm not really sure on the timeline of things. Seem to be quite delayed recently, but I got a Class 313 on order. That's actually with Rails of Sheffield. That's the Network Rail one. I've got Class 180 on order in East Midlands Railway livery. And then I also have an Electrostar unit, I think, on order, possibly, if I can remember correctly. It's been quite a while since I made these pre-orders. But yeah, that is the update on stock. It is a bit of a mess in here, to be fair. I've been working a lot, haven't really paid too much attention to tidiness, so there is sort of bits here, there and everywhere. But with each stage of the branch line being finished, I will have a tidy up, and then hopefully things can be a bit more organised than here. The beginning of January has started off incredibly bitter and cold. It's currently -5 outside, barely any warmer in here, to be fair, so I won't be getting straight on it for quite a few days, I don't think, until it warms up. It's not particularly pleasant in here when it's absolutely freezing. I've got that heater down there, but that really only heats the air above it. So unless I'm working right above it, you can't really feel it too much, to be fair. But let's talk about what I do have planned for this year anyway. So obviously the first thing I want to get done is the branch line. The reason for that being it is at the back of the layout. Once that's all finished, all I have to do then is maintain it, which should be a lot easier working from the front. So what's left to do on the branch line is obviously the track weathering. That will be the next video. I'll then be working on the embankment and all the greenery at the side. There'll also be a gravel pathway where the previous track used to be, and that is a tribute to Northampton Lamport Railway, which is where I used to do volunteer work. Haven't been down there in a number of years, but what they have is a gravel pathway or a dirt track next to the heritage line. That used to be the Northampton to Market Harbour route, and now it's now they have a dirt track from where the previous line used to be, so I'd like to replicate that. Once I've done all that, there will be the 2 stations to build then. We'll have that one over there. Haven't thought of a name for it yet, but that's just going to be a single track sort of halt type station. There'll also be a bridge. This track here where it ends will go over a bridge. That's why I've stopped the baseboard there, so we can get a nice bridge there. And there'll be a small station before the scenic break where it goes into the U-turn and begins to descend onto the main line. And then obviously there is the station over there to finish as well, which will be Great Deltan, the 3-platform terminus. That's going to be a lot more work, a lot more detailed. There'll have some lights, canopies. I'll make it look really nice. And then that will be the first initial section of the branch line finished then. After that, I can actually get started on the main lines. So in terms of time scale, I'm hoping to have this section of the branch line done by about June, July time. Obviously progress is pretty slow with how often I can get out here, but hopefully still make a good amount of progress this year. And then once I've done that, like I say, we'll be starting on the main lines. Haven't 100% decided on a track plan yet for the main lines, but there will be 4 tracks, I know that. I'd like to include a large station and then a countryside scene in front of here, and then there'll be a few sort of different levels, maybe a couple of sidings. Like I said, not 100% sure, but I've got ideas of what I want in my mind. So once I get that done, I can work on getting the track base done and then getting all the track laid, and then it'll be a similar process of doing it sort of like ballast, weathering, scenery, and it'll just be built up in layers then, much like the branch line. But that's many, many years down the line. By the end of this year, I would like to have the main lines laid in terms of track and the baseboard, and obviously the branch line finished as well. While progress on the layout has been sort of slow, I have been busy collecting plenty of bits which will allow me to continue with the layout. This varies everything from bits of scenery to tools to consumables, just anything I need to ensure that I can actually get on with the layout when I need to and when I have time. What you see here is my Christmas haul. Not too many bits really, there's a few buildings, a load of vehicles, and my wife got me a roll of frog tape as well as part of my Christmas stopping, just because she knows I use it so much for things like painting on the layout. So yeah, just a few little bits here for Christmas. Probably one of the smaller hauls I've had in recent years. That station building there will be the building for Great Deltan branch line terminus, so I'll incorporate that into the rest of the station. Well, that is it really. This has just been a small update to show you where I'm at and what you can expect from me in 2026. Hope you're all enjoying the build of the new layout. I'm very much enjoying the build so far. It's quite something I've not done before with the branch line, and everything I've learned from the last two layouts is going to go into this one to make it the best it can be. So yeah, thank you for your continued support. Got a few new subscribers recently, so welcome to the channel. If you are here for the first time and this is your first new video, I appreciate you taking the time to subscribe and follow the layout. We'll be back again hopefully within February time, possibly January for the track weathering video, and then from there we will just continue on with the branch line. I've got all the materials, it's just a matter of time. Don't really get out here a lot because I do work permanent nights and evenings are my best time. So it's very limited on the time I get out here, but nevertheless, I still progress on, and like I say, I will bring you more content. So thanks once again, Happy New Year everyone, and we'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.